So, only scissors I could find are nail scissors. I have craft scissors just for yarn. They look like a unicorn, but I couldn't find them, so I'm gonna just use that for now. Okay, so when we're finishing off the stitch, we've got our chain here. You just yarn over and pull that through. Sometimes that doesn't really hold. If you were to just pull this out, and you can weave it in and it will hold, but you can do a 2 chain right here, and then you just pull it all the way through and then just tighten it down really hard. It makes a really nice knot. And then whenever I'm sewing this in, I just kind of tuck it in. If you're making something out of a granny square, usually you're going to have a border and it's going to hide that. This is how I keep my finishing needles. My kids can't open these, so they can't get hurt on them or lose them. I have a lot of different kinds in here. These are my favorite. These come in a pack of like 5 or 6. And these are really easy to get the yarn into because the eye is so big. So, I have those, and I have these metal ones. These are pretty good too. The eyes are bigger on these, and then obviously I have these plastic ones. I have these metal ones with these big loops. Some of these are technically needles for other things, but that one's bent at the end. It's supposed to be like that. Sometimes if I get a knot in my yarn, I don't know what this is or where it came from, but a little pair of tweezers would work too. It just helps you pull the knots out. Another weird one I've used in a pinch when I couldn't find anything else. And this is just my grandma's pin for her curlers. I've just had it in here forever. I am going to use this blue one right here. There's actually a yellow one. I think it's on my desk that goes with the set too. These are stitch markers here. These are my favorite. They're just like safety pins. And these are literally all over my house. I found some in my fish tank once. My kids put in there, so they're everywhere. I think I have some in my car. They're just all over the place. Okay, so when we're finishing off like in the middle here, because I did that magic circle, obviously just thread that through. I like this because it's double-ended, so even if it's a short tail, you could still usually weave it in. So I'm going to go over that loop right here and then back under. And I'm going to just kind of shove it through a few stitches there. And then I'm going to go over another one and do it again. And then I'm going to kind of double back, but I'm going to go over that one again. And this will also give me a little extra if it were to come back out that I can weave it back into. These scissors suck so bad. And you just cut it off right at the work. Now for this one, I usually like to go down through the top, but I have this pretty big knot here, so I'm just going to go down through that part of the stitch, kind of pull it down, and then go through right here. And I'm sure there's plenty of techniques for how people like to finish off their work, and I'm sure people will probably critique me for how I do mine, but I hardly ever have anything come undone, and that's the whole point. So I'd rather not have to fix something that I've made because I didn't weave enough ends through. I'm going to go down through around this stitch too, just to make sure it doesn't come out. I probably overdo it, and I really hate weaving ends in, but I really don't want them to come out. There we go. And if you were going to put this in a blanket, people recommend a block first. It gets them all the same size so that whenever you're sewing them together, everything looks nice and even. So when it's washed, it stays nice and even. There's a pegboard you can get where the pegs would go in these corners, and kind of, you put one in the middle too if you needed to, but just kind of like hold them out flat as they dry. You would get them wet with some water and some starch of some sort.